Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. Alright, so this video is essentially it's essentially about diagnosing no crank no starts and crank no starts. And you guys have issues where after a certain period of trying to diagnose it, you're throwing parts at the issue, changing out a starter, changing this out, changing that out, and you still run into the situation that you had originally. I'm going to tell you guys what to look for in these situations, because they do occur, particularly with older vehicles, that over time has corrosion and rust and build up on wires, on battery terminals, on fuse boxes, on this, on that, on all right, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about your simple diagnosing of issues like, oh, it's a starter, change out the starter, it's not the starter. Oh, it's probably a fuse, you change out a fuse or a relay. In particular, change out a relay and you still get the same situation. I'm going to tell you guys what you guys can look for in this kind of situation. First of all, I can't tell you guys how many times certain situations like these is the cause of a bad battery, B, battery terminals that are loose or corroded or have corrosion on them or are rusted, and they don't actually consider that to be part of the diagnosing issue, and it's the most simplest issue as far as that's concerned. That's what you guys want to look at. And this video is not just on the battery or wires, etc., etc. This is essentially a video about things that you guys should look for. If you guys, this video is about things you guys should look for at the very beginning of troubleshooting. All right, a lot of people have issues troubleshooting vehicles with crank no start issues, no crank no start issues. Even when they bring it to the garages, a lot of times they can't figure it out. Even when they bring it to the dealership, sometimes they can't figure it out. And this is the kind of thing where this video is a kind of video where you guys you guys take a guess that it's probably the starter that's the problem. You guys change out the starter, and then you guys went into a situation where it didn't fix anything. You guys spent all that time, and then you're going through swapping out the relays, which you guys should do. Check out the relays. The fuses are easy to test. Check out the relays. But definitely, all right, the simplest thing is always the easiest thing to figure out. People spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on this. But you must, in these situations, you must troubleshoot. You must cross things off the list. All right. So this is what this video is about. This video is not anything about a simple troubleshooting fix where you have a check engine light on your dash and it tells you what the codes are. That's pretty easy. All right. To a good mechanic, that's pretty simple. Figure it out. This is a video on the mysteries of the mysteries. If you spent 5-6 hours swapping out the relay, going through trying to test out the same fuses and relays over and over and over again, the fuel pump and spraying starter fluid in the fuse system over and over and over again. Trust me, diagnosing a car issue can take 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and sometimes you won't be able to figure out that situation. This is what this video is about. All right. So let's start with this situation where you've already tested out all the fuses. All right. Easy enough to check out all the fuses. All you guys do is just take a fuse tester to make sure that all the fuses have continuity. Very, very simple. Not a hard thing to do. As far as the relays are concerned, obviously I mentioned the battery and the terminal, the terminals on the battery. They need to be cleaned. You gotta get a wire brush, clean that all out. Test the battery. Make sure the battery is good. Make sure that it's all clean. Measure out. Take a multimeter and make sure that there is voltage going through every single part of that positive line, negative line. Okay, it's very simple to check out. Also, what you guys want to do is you guys want to check your fob key battery to make sure that your fob key battery is good. If not, you guys have to change it out. A lot of people miss that, and they spent hours and hours and hours and hours trying to figure out that it's thinking that's something else when it's something that simple. But I'm just crossing all this stuff off the list for you guys so that it makes it easier. And this video is not about any particular manufacturer, any particular car, etc., etc. All right, this video is essentially a video on pretty much all older vehicles with corrosion, rust, etc., etc. Okay, so you guys are where you are after spending hours and hours and hours and hours trying to figure out what the situation is. And you guys don't know. You guys are at absolute loss. You guys have the multimeter out, everything out, and you guys still can't figure out what the problem is. I'm going to tell you guys what. There are multiple ground wires in a vehicle. There's a main ground wire, which is a negative ground wire. All right. Ground wires are extremely, extremely pertinent to the electrical system. They are as pertinent as the positive line. You can only get as much electricity from the circuit as you can with how much contact that negative line has with the frame of the vehicle, how much it's grounded. All right. If there's rust, if there's corrosion, if there's any type of corrosion on the rings of the ground wire, if there's hardly any connection space, sorry guys, I have a bit of a cold, but I'm going to try to get through this. If there is not enough contact area on those ground wires, you guys must, and there are some vehicles, particularly with GM, they're pretty skimpy. They were pretty skimpy. I don't know if they still are now, with the surface area of the ground wire where it connects to the frame. All right. Very simple to increase that ground wire. All you guys need to do is take some sandpaper, sand out the paint, and sand out the paint so that the metal shows, so that the contact between the ring of the ground and the frame itself is sufficient. All right. So you could also have issues with the some people call it the tipping, some manufacturers call it the tipping, some people call it the fuse box, etc., etc. You must test out the fuse boxes. All right, if you guys can. It's a little bit more difficult than testing out the fuses, particularly when you're trying to test out the relays. You guys, I'm not talking about swapping out the relays. I'm sure if you guys spent hours and hours on this, you guys have probably passed that point of testing out, swapping out the relay, seeing if a relay has issues or not. So what you guys want to do definitely is look at all the other grounds that exist. And you guys will know this, okay? You guys will know this when you guys look around the engine bay, Some grounds are underneath the engine. Most of the grounds, some of the grounds are connected to the motor. Some of them are connected to the frame. What you guys want to do is look at all your ground wires, and not only just look at it, to make sure that the ground wires are connected and there's sufficient area around the frame. Because let me tell you something. Over time, there is buildup of corrosion, buildup of oil, buildup of dust, buildup of everything you could possibly think of. Not just on the ring of the ground wire. A lot of times, what you guys want to check is the not just the ring, but the where the wire connects to the ring. All right, very important that you guys use a multimeter to test out if there's any discrepancy, if there's any voltage going through any part of that wire. Very, 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 very important. All right, that's very important. And let me tell you guys something. If you guys have the battery, you guys have vehicles with battery in the back of the car. If you guys have batteries in the in your seat, if the battery's not in the under the hood, I've come across situations where with these batteries, there's a line that goes from the battery all the way up to the front. All right, all the way to the front. That line itself, if you guys have the situation where you guys have no power whatsoever, or you guys have some power, you must, and you guys did everything you guys can to check out all the circumstances to make sure that everything else is good, and you guys still scratching your head over why your vehicle's not cranking, or why it's cranking, it's not starting, why you're getting some power, you're not getting all power. You guys need to make sure that that line that connects to the battery all the way to the front of the vehicle, you gotta make sure that that line is not corroded. I've seen situations where parts of that line become corroded, and parts of that line will not have any voltage going through it. All right, I worked in a car just like that. I forget what particular car it was. I think it was a European car, maybe a BMW or something like that. But I'm just throwing this out there for all you guys who are actually looking for the answer when you're in this zone of mystery after 6, 7, 8 hours of trying to figure it out, but you're just still absolutely lost at square one. All right, just go back and check out all the things I've mentioned. Double back, just test them all out, and check to make sure that double check on all that stuff, just to make sure that those aren't the things that's causing it. Obviously, you have a problem, it's going to be something that's causing it. All right, troubleshooting is not easy. For the most part, it's easier with the OBD2 scanner, but not everything has a sensor on it. So hope this has helped you guys out. You guys have any questions on this, definitely leave a question in the comment section. If you guys have your own personal opinion on this, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Appreciate your time, guys. Take care.